Uh, in the last session, we have created this server.js on a notepad, but the notepad is very limited. Actually, notepad, we can code the things by saving the program in the node in that notepad by putting that extension .js and saving that file. So that's what we have done in that previous session. But what is happening is the notepad is not that much of sophisticated integrated development environment where you are going to have some IntelliSense that is applicable. Suppose, yeah, you can see the IntelliSense coming into this editor. Okay, so console dot, just say this is a console object, and it is having so many properties and methods that are available for our usage. So all these IntelliSense will not be available in the simple notepad. Okay, so thereby we are forced to take any good HTML or notepad or this node editor where we can have our coding, so that we are going to have some errors also somewhat highlighted. Suppose what I will do is I will simply remove this semicolon. It's not appearing, but suppose if I remove this, you can see at least one red wiggly symbol is appearing here, denoting something. Something is missing from this. And on the left side also, you can see in the file name is appearing in the red font. Okay. So all these are minor things, but they are very helpful for a developer. So as soon as I correct this one, you can see the file name is coming back to normal font in the white color. Okay. So we have taken Visual Studio Code. This is generally used in the industries also. So Visual Studio Code is very lightweight integrated development environment in which you can create the PHP applications, in which you can create the node based applications, you can create the Flutter based applications, you can take the advantage of the ASP.NET pages. Okay, so Visual Studio Code is a common platform where you can have your coding that is done under a particular technology. Okay, so Visual Studio Code is generally very lightweight, and you can see how to start up the things in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, now underneath this, this is my server.js. Suppose if I'm clicking on this, accordingly that file contents are being opened up in this interface, and below that there is a terminal window where our command prompt, suppose in the previous case what we have done is we have compiled the file in this way. Okay, so we have compiled the file by saying like in this way. So what we are going to do is, this is not the actual folder, so that's why it is giving the error. I have to go back to my working folder and cd node. Okay, so now I will give that command, then it will be giving back me the message, the same message. Node.js server is actually started. Node.js server is actually started. So this is what we are exactly doing from this terminal window also. Okay, so that is actually linked up here in this Visual Studio Code, and you directly whatever you are giving the command, that is naturally happening on this command prompt only. So in that way we can understand. And one more thing is, as soon as I am kickstarting this terminal, you can see I need not go back to like cd dot something like that, because it can actually connect me to that current window, current folder. So thereby you have to simply provide the commands only. So that is what we can see from this Visual Studio Code. Okay, so how to run this? It's again the same thing. As soon as I give this command node, the file name is server.js, and you can miss out this server.js and you can provide server. And as soon as I'm going to hit this, the server is launched on this port number, and you are getting back this message, Node.js server is actually started. Okay, so if you want to see this, you can go back to this URL and give this command. The first Node.js implementation that is coming from the response is actually visible here. Okay, so I'm resizing this so that you can parallelly see the things. Okay, so in the previous um, uh, in the in the previous session, we have seen with the sample Node.js server creation, in which we have taken one HTTP module, HTTP package, which is getting saved in this variable. And accordingly, we are calling that HTTP package modules method, and we are going to provide our own functionalities. So naturally, we'll be having one doubt where we should be having these kind of packages that are available so that we can come to know which package we need to see in the first place. Okay, so for that, you have to go to this Node.js official website, nodejs.org./en. So this is the website where you might have downloaded this stable version of the setup for this Node.js. And similarly, on this website, you can see a documentation that is completely available. You click on this current stable version documentation. As soon as you go to that particular page, you will see the default packages that are available as soon as you created the Node.js application. Okay, so these are the default packages or modules that are available. So assertion, C++ add-ons, console. So console we have already used. Just click on this console. It will be opening up with all the supported methods and how to use this. You can see the sample demonstrations and many other things related with that particular package. Okay, so how to use this error and grouping of the things. So all these are available, and this documentation is very, very good, and you don't have to see anywhere else. Simply click on this particular required package that you want to have in your application. Similarly, there is a DNS, domain, file system. Okay, so file systems offer all the features that you want to have for reading and writing operations on any given particular file. And how to include that file, this is the package that you have to call, like const fs is equal to require fs. This is the package that we are actually having. So in that way, you can go through the documentation and you can read the, you can go to the documentation and see all the implementations that they have provided, so that how to do the manipulations as per that particular package. So this is a very, very big file. This is a very big file. Okay, so understanding this particular package itself may take some 4 to 5 days of effort. Okay, but parallelly you have to know many other packages and you have to practice so that all the features of any given particular package can be understand by you. Okay, so similarly we got many other default packages like HTTP package. This HTTP package we have already used in our previous server creation, and then operating system, path, query strings, which is very, very useful. Then many packages are available in the default installation. But if there is any package which you want to import into your application, first of all you have to import that by saying that npm install the package name. Then only your package will be available. That package will be available for your project. Okay, so we will see some sample demonstrations. Okay, let us start with this operating system. So go to this operating system. What this offers is this module provides operating system related utility methods and properties. And how it can be used? It can be used by this particular package require OS. So we will start this package by taking one more file. I will start one more file, some sample like that, sample.js. So in which I will just paste that. So there is a constant OS. This can be any name actually, but generally what we do is we give the name of the package so that we can remember after you are having some 50 to 100 packages working in your project directory. Okay. So after accessing this particular package, what you want to do is you want to have that OS dot. So it will provide all the available methods. Suppose there is a free memory which is available in your machine that can be accessed. So I will call this method, and this is a, you can mouse over this, and it is actually a number. Okay, so better to convert to this into a string. Okay, then what we want to do, we want to simply print this. So first of all, what I will do is I will create a free memory. This is a variable. Okay, and then what I'm doing is I am printing this free memory onto the console, and then similarly one more variable you can take, that is what we can take is OS dot total memory. Okay, so there is one more. You can see many supported methods are there: temporary directory, platform. You can check with that, the total memory, the uptime, user info. So many supported methods are there. And right now I am concerned with the total memory. And for that also, what I will do, I will take one different variable for printing this information, total memory. This is a method, and which I want to again convert into toString. And later on, I will simply call this total memory so that I can print that information on the console. Okay. Now what to do? You have to simply stop this. How to stop this working Node.js? By simply typing Control C twice. It will come out of this particular execution from the previous execution. Now again, what I have to do is, first of all, I have to call this server.js. So for that, I will take this const server is equal to required, and this is available in the current directory. So that's why I'm taking this in this way. So dot means the current directory, and the server name is available here, and we can provide the name like this, or otherwise simply taking the name of the file itself without providing the .js extension, because in Node.js everything is .js file. Okay, so in Node.js everything is a .js file, so that's why if you are giving the .js or not, it is immaterial to that Node server. And what we are achieving is, we are calling that file functionality, we are calling this entire functionality in this file, and later on it is going to execute this one also. Okay, so let us rerun this Node server, and now the server is launched, and it is not printing this because it is actually working from sample.js. Now what I have to do is, I have to come out of this. Now I have to run this sample. You can see the Node.js server is actually started, that is coming from the sample file. So that is coming from this server file actually. Okay, and as we have given the server file into the sample, so parallelly the free memory is also printed, and later on the total memory is also getting printed. You can provide the implementation like free memory available. Okay, and you can concatenate the things like this, but things, and you can show your whatever the processed information in this way, and after that we are going to see how it is going to be printed that information. So free memory is some maybe some 3 GB, I don't know, and this is maybe some 8 GB total memory. So in that way we can have our implementation which is coming from this particular package. Okay, so you have to simply check out the package information by going to this Node.js documentation and provide all the implementations that you can have. And what we have seen is free memory. So this is the method that we have called free memory. It returns the amount of free system memory in bytes as an integer. And you can call similarly home directory, the path, the load average. So everything can be accessible as far as your operating system is concerned. So this is how we can use the packages for our advantage. So what you have to do with this information, that is up to you. For your project, you want to first of all check out with the information, then only you have to take the decisions. So all these are the part of how you are going to implement in your projects. Okay. Then we are going to see one more demonstration like this. Suppose I am going to simply close this sample. Now I want to have some routing that is implemented for my web page. Okay, so the routing means suppose this is the root page. This is the root page. After that, I want to call by providing a name like about. Now there is no about page. Simply it is redirecting to the index page itself. Even though I am giving like some help page, it is not processing anything because this kind of page is not available, and it is simply reverting back to the root page only. Okay, now we want to provide our own routing through the Node.js. The routing can be provided easily with the Express also, that we will see later on, but by using the Node.js also we can have our routing that is implemented. Okay, so how to do that? Before that, I will create a page with any name. So I will simply take that name as route.js. Okay, route.js. So this is a file which is created here. Now I have created one route.js in which what I want to do is I want to provide some different routings for my web project. So how to do that? First of all, you have the requirement of this getting a server. So take this server, because this we have created already by taking the server.js, so that all that servers creating functionality is coming into this file also. Then one more package that I want to have in my current project is HTTP. So how to import this? So simply call that package name HTTP. This is a default package, so that's why you don't have to download. Okay, because this is a default package, you don't have to download again. If it is giving any other, then you can download that by saying npm install HTTP. Okay, then otherwise what we can do is without taking this here, we can modify the things from the create server itself. That is also there. So let us start this in a different way. Okay, so now I am not concerned with that server.js. I am simply removing this. I am starting with my own functionality. So this is the only package that I am having. Create server, then I have taken that initial request response. Thereafter, okay, I will copy this entirely so that I can have my own implementation implemented in a different way. So this is the template that I have taken. Okay, so this you can print or not, that doesn't matter. Basically what we have taken is, we have taken one HTTP module, and using that HTTP module we are creating the server instance, and which is having one request object as well as response object. So they can be with any name. You can provide with your own name or any other name, like request in complete sentence, or in simply abbreviation like this, or simply RQRS. So in that way you can have. And thereafter, what I want to do is, I want to have one URL. This URL is nothing but the URL which is coming from the browser. Okay, so the browser URL we can catch like this, the browser URL like help or anything else we can catch, and I want to store that in this URL. And then I want to check if this URL is matching with this, what is this? Here I have taken help. Okay, if this is matching with this help, okay, so 3 times you have to give equals to, because in Node.js we are comparing the left side with the right side by taking 3 equal symbols in this way, and then I want to provide my own implementation. If it is matching with this, then what I want to do is simply I want to write that information like welcome to help page. Okay, so this is what I want to write, and then simply close that response in this way. Similarly, what I can do, I can provide many other alternatives, like here I will take about. So you can change this to about us page, and one more implementation. Here I will take contacts. Here I will change this to contact us page, and in that way I can create my own routes. And if it is not the case, if nothing is actually being matched, then what I want to write is I want to simply redirect to the root page. Welcome to Node.js website. So in that way you can have your default implementation. So this is your default implementation, which is not having this actually if, because if it is not matching, then only it is going to be executed. Okay, so we have created our server instance, we have created our different routes, and whenever there is any incoming request, it is going to match up with that information. If it is a help request, then accordingly it is getting executed. If it is about request, this particular message is going to be printed, and if it is a contact, then this is going to be printed. So let us see if this executes. Suppose I am entering this, nothing is being happening because I have not recompiled. Okay, so after every manipulation on this Node.js pages, you have to stop the server, and then you have to restart with that page. So what is this page? This page is route. So I am calling this page route, and it is saying some error. What is this error? At line number 26, you can see at line number 26, I am missing out with something. And what is that? I think I have given extra braces here. So let us remove that. So simply save this and rerun, and now it is not printing anything here in the console because we have not written anything in the console.log, but the server is actually started on this 8000 port. Okay, so let us check with this help. You can see welcome to the help page, and then I am changing this to contact. Okay, now it is not available. Something error, unhandled error event right after end. So there is some error here, I think. What is that error? Emitted error event on server response instance, server string right after end. Again, we will start actually to understand in a better way. Contacts, yes, this is showing the contact information, but as soon as I am giving with any other, yeah, this is also working. Then about, okay. So I think what is happening is after a couple of requests, the node is actually not getting that event request URL. So that's why something is missing in this. One more time I will run route about. It is actually executing properly. Executed, and what we have seen is we are getting some different responses for each of our unique routing that we have provided as part of the Node.js implementation. Okay, so in that way we have created some different routing implementation for our different pages, and accordingly it has worked on the web server. So this in this way we can create our own routing options, but generally routing is commonly given from the express.js coding. So in the Node.js, we don't generally give that routing. From the express only, we can conveniently, we can actually stack up the things also as part of the middleware. So that's why it is better way to have the routing feature implemented in the express formats. But still, Node.js can also be having the routing feature implemented in these ways. Okay, so this is one example for that. And then one more example we will see. Now I am going to create one more file for this. This is for the file access. So let us have this file access. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to const server is equal to require, and in the current directory server functionality I am getting. Okay, so after this I am going to have the file stream Node.js documentation. So file stream. Okay, so this is the file stream or file system. So this file system we are going to access for an example. So how to do that? For this to implement in your project, you have to first of all take this require fs. Okay, so that particular thing that we are going to use, const fs is equal to require fs. So this particular feature is going to be available now in this fs object. Okay, you can see fs directory, fs stats, write stream, read stream. So all these supported methods are available once you have taken this package into this constant variable. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to create a file, and after creating that file I want to write something. I want to write some content into that. So let us take with the content initially, that is called as data, and the data is having this is the example of writing some text into this particular file. Okay, so let us keep some text which is written into this data variable. So this can be anything, and you are safely taking that into a variable. Now what we need to have is we need to write this particular stream. Let us take that name as write stream. So how to get that write stream is fs dot create write stream. So create write stream, and in that method you can see you should be provided with a path with some optionals. Okay, so what I will do is I will give a path. So the path is nothing but the file name. So I will write the file name as myfile.txt. I will write the file name as myfile.txt. Then what I will do, I will take this instance of write stream and I will write the content. The content is coming from this data, and I will pass on that content into this method write. So write stream dot write will be writing the content whichever you are passing into this method. Okay, so there ends. Then finally you have to, every stream has to be properly ended. That can be a reading stream, that can be a writing stream. Okay, so this we have to close, and then what we need to do is, after once you are going to check with this whether successfully it has written or not. Okay, so after finish there are multiple event listeners are there. Okay, so this is the event handler. There is a callback method I am going to attach to this. So console.log and provide this message like write is finished, only to convey to ourselves. Okay, then so this is actually, so function is missing with this braces. Okay, so that means it is actually operated on a callback mechanism. It may take some milliseconds of time to create this file on the disk and to pump that information into this file. So it may take some time. So that's why we are waiting on to that happen. And whenever that is going to be finished, it will be printing something like this on the console. So this is what we want to have in our application. Okay. Similarly, not every time you are going to have successful implementation. Sometimes you may end up with some errors also. So you have to catch up with that error. And whenever there is any error, you can pass on that error object here, ERR. And whenever there is any error, ERR dot stat. So what exactly has happened? Suppose it did not got um, it did not get the required privileges or the permissions to create the file on your disk. Maybe you are accessed as a different user, not as an administrator. Maybe you may not be having enough rights or privileges. So at that time, an error may be generated because it cannot create that particular file. So in those cases, you want to know what exactly has happened. Okay, so safely you want to take this uh, error event that was handled properly. Not only that, after this particular everything is over, you simply want to know whether everything is properly completed or not. So this particular program is ended. Okay. So what we have done is we have taken the servers functionality, we have taken that file system functionality, then we have taken one text content, opened up our write stream by calling that ss.create write stream, pass on our own file name, return that data, and that data, and you want to listen to that callback. Whenever there is that callback is finished, this is going to be printed on the console. And if there is any error, this particular error is going to be printed. And if everything is successfully run, the program ended is going to be printed. So in that way, we have our implementation in this file access. Let us now run with this. Okay. So I am now running this by calling the file name file access. See here, Node.js server is actually started. Program ended because this was kicked in first time because it is a callback. It will take some time. Thereafter, this will take some time. Okay, so this is an error. This will take some time. So it has executed in that linear way. Initially, program ended has was printed on the console, but after some milliseconds of time, write is finished because it has to create this file, it has to open that file, then it has to write something into that, then only this message is going to be printed. And let us check on the left side. You can see my file.txt. Initially it was not there. Okay, if you are doubtful, I am going back to this file. Okay, you can see I am deleting this file. Okay, now this file is not available. Let us rerun this, and here you can see there is no myfile.txt. And as soon as I am running this, myfile.txt is available for me. This is exactly is having the same thing that we have written here in the data. Okay, this is the example of writing something into this file. So this is the same thing that we are having into this. Okay, now you can change this content to anything else. Let us rewrite this file with something else. Okay, so we got this myfile.txt already available. Okay, and we are now providing with some alternative text content. And let us stop this, rerun this. Now you can go back to myfile.txt. You can see rewrite this file with something else is exactly available in this myfile.txt. So in that way, you can create the files, and not only that, you can read the files also, and you can print that files onto the console, and in that way you can have your own implementations. Okay, so continuing this, we have written something into this, but from different file. Okay, suppose what I will do is I will read file.js which I will create, and I will take the initial code lines which are very much same in this case. I am going to have in that. Then what I will do is, now I am reading the content which is available from that particular file. So how to do that? Same, create read stream. So earlier we have taken the write stream. Now we will take the read stream, and what we will do, we will provide the same file.txt. Okay. So earlier case, what we have done is we have written something into this file, myfile.txt. But in this case, we are going to read from already existing file. So how to do that? Call this read stream. Then you have to set encoding also. So this method is also you need to, because you have to provide which format it needs to take. Okay. So let us take with this UTF-8. Okay. So UTF-8 we have taken so that it can understand how to show up with that information on the output. Then what we will do, read stream dot on, when there is any, because all these operations are asynchronous operations, so that's why we have to provide our callbacks. And when that data is, you can keep this as data, when the data is available, then we are going to print this otherwise what we will do is, here you can take D and here data, and before that I am going to where data is equal to some empty string, and here what I want to have is, I want to concatenate that information with the readout information from the file. That means we have initially taken one variable which is empty string, and as soon as this particular file is passed, it will take some time. This is a callback actually. So this callback is going to get that information which is available in the file, and that is going to be given back through this variable D, and which is combined with that data. So data is initially has nothing, and we are going to combine that so that to print on the console. Let us see what is happening with this. Okay. So now I am stopping this and call this file node read file. Node.js server is actually started, which is coming from the server.js. Rewrite this file with something else. From where it is coming? It is coming from this. That means our read stream has successfully read the content from myfile.txt, and after that it is printing that information from this statement which is available in that file. So after this, we can have one more implementation, that is blocking and unblocking, non-blocking of the Node.js feature. So node blocking, non-blocking, which is already we have seen somewhat in this example. Okay, so program ended is actually asynchronously called, so that's why write is finished. Somewhere we have seen that example. Anyways, we are going to have exclusively with in another example. So let us start with that example. Okay, for that I will take one more file. I'm taking different files only to demonstrate clearly. So what is happening with that operating system that I have kept in a different file. Okay, routes I have kept in a different file. File access, which is reading, which is writing the content, that I have kept in a separate file. Read file is that I have kept in a file, so that which are not clashing onto the already created code. So if I am writing everything into this, you may be getting confused. Okay. So let us start with one more file. So the file name can be maybe blocking, unblocking, anything you can keep that file name. And what I'm going to show in this uh, blocking and non-blocking is I will take console. Okay, first of all, we have to take this uh, server because server has to be launched. Okay, server after server launching, what we will do is we will write the blocking input output. So blocking input output, that means synchronous way of doing the things that we will showcase in this console.log. Here I will write blocking input output demo. Then I will take one uh, again same thing fs I am going to take, which is require this particular package fs, because we are going to manipulate the file from this package. Then what I'm going to do is read file sync. Yes, sync. Read file sync means this particular method is going to synchronously accessing the some file. The file name is already available. That is, I will take this as myfile.txt. Okay, so that can be any name, but I have already created one file, so that's why I'm taking that. So read file sync. That means this file now is not going to be asynchronously opened. It is going to be synchronously opened by this particular supported method. But this is not a normal way of handling the things in the Node.js. Myfile.txt. Then what I will do, I will hook on to the data, which is coming into this data variable and simply converting that to the toString method. And finally, in the fourth step, we can print that like first step. Then this is the second step, so that to clearly understand what is actually happening with this. Okay, only to differentiate that only I am putting this. Then in the third step, concatenate this, and we will write blocking demo. Okay, blocking demo ended. Okay, so in that way, the steps are clear. First, second, and third. Let us see what happens with this. Okay, after that, what I will do is I will code for non-blocking demonstration, non-blocking of the input-output demonstration. In this case, first of all, I will type this as same. This one is non-blocking demonstration. Okay. Then in the second file, I'm going to not open this file in a synchronous way. I'm going to access this file in an asynchronous way. Okay. So how to open this in an asynchronous way? So there are multiple supported methods. So the read file is the asynchronous way of like a callback mechanism of getting hold of your information. So in that, what you are going to do is my file.txt and you have to provide the callback. So this is the importance of the callbacks in the Node.js. So that's why through this example, I want to let you know that everything by default is normally callback mechanism in the Node.js. So that's why the simple method name is read file. But if you want to open that method in a synchronous way, then you have to use this method. But this we generally do not want to have in our programs. Okay. So if there is any error, what you want to do is simply print that error, which is that actual error. Otherwise, same thing, data dot toString, and I'm going to give this as the second, because either this will run or this will run. Generally not, in our case, the error will not be there, but we have to catch this error. Otherwise, if there is no error, the second step is to simply write that information onto the console. Okay. Thereafter, we are going to have our final. So this is our callback, which has ended here. You can see if I'm clicking on this, uh, it has to close. Okay. So this is being closed here. And then after this, I am printing the non-blocking demo ended code, which is the third statement. So let us run with this file. How to run this? So Control C, come out of this node execution mode, then node blocking. Yes. Now you want to see not on the page, but on the console. So from this here, you can see 1, 2, 3 in the case of the synchronous operations. Okay. Whereas 1, 3, 2 in the case of callback mechanism. That means initially non-blocking IO demo was printed. Okay, so this got printed. Thereafter, what happened? Non-blocking demo ended. So this is directly printed because by this time it is still opening that information to read the content. So that's why it is independent of the input-output operations. Okay, so the execution model of the Node.js framework is independent of the input-output operations, which are exactly happening at that particular time. So that's why 3 is getting printed after some few milliseconds of time. This got over. Okay, so this particular execution got over. So the data is returned back to this read file method. So thereby it is printing the further line of statement. But whereas in the blocking input output operations, the code is very simple. It has stopped till the second statement is not getting executed. So that's why in the Node.js framework, every functionality will be looking like this only. Otherwise, you are not actually taking the advantage of the Node.js, because this way of coding you can do in ASP, in PHP, in all other programs or technologies. There is no advantage as such you are having while implementing this way of doing the coding in Node.js. So that's why we do not have this kind of coding in this Node.js. We generally be doing the coding by calling the callbacks only. So this is the callback and this is the supported method for the callback. So Node.js is full of callbacks. Everything is a callback, and by implementing the callback only, you are actually giving a more power, more performance to your application. Got it? So with that, we have completed the demonstration of the blocking feature as well as the non-blocking feature and how they are actually different. So they are completely different. This is linearly sequentially executing 1, 2, 3, whereas the non-blocking is executing in a asynchronous way and completely independent of the input output hardware accessing that is actually required. So we have seen some different examples, how to load up with the things, how to route the things. Okay, so some sample demonstrations we have seen, how to access the files.